and welcome to Tayo Mini Reads, Reviews, Discusses, Monologues about everything and anything, and that's on period. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. It's unofficially, but officially fall, so I'm super excited that, the heat is gonna go down and we're finally gonna get some really cool weather here. So I wanted to talk about my to be read pile for the coming months. Now, I feel like this pile is super ambitious because there's a lot that I want to get to, but these are I think the ones that are super on my mind that I really want to get to. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the one that has been longest on this pile because you see all these books behind me. I have read some of them. I will be transparent. I have read some of them, but I haven't read a lot of them. And so I want to I want to get to my books. I want to read my old books, like the books I've had for a long time, and not be like leered by books that just came out. But I will say that 2025 has some really great releases, starting from 2024, where we got the Stormlight Archive 5. So it's just been nonstop with some good books coming out this year, and that's why I just haven't read some of my older books. So this is kind of like a backlist with maybe 2 new releases in there. So let's get started. Now, the first book that I wanted to talk about will be Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. Now, this is the Red Rising series. There's book 1 to 3, the first book being Red Rising. It's a space opera, and this is one of the first books that I read as a sci-fi book that I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. It was so good. I actually gave it to my husband, and he actually read Red Rising, and he was absolutely blown away. He loved it. So I think that anybody, and he's someone that he doesn't really read fantasy books. So I think like anybody can start Red Rising and get into it. Here's where the problem is. This is book 4. And I think Pierce Brown has gone on to write up to book 7, if I'm not mistaken. So I literally stopped at Morning Song, which I think is the last book in the first set of trilogies. We have 3 books after this, and we also have, I think, 3 more books after the 6 books. So, I mean, there's literally a lot of books. So I definitely want to get back into this world. I just don't know what's holding me back. I actually have the books. I have this one, and I have the one that comes after this in the series. I just don't know what's holding me back. But this is I absolutely loved Red Rising, and I really want to get back into it. So I am hoping that I can push this up my TBR. I am trying to finish the books I have on pile and just, get right into this one. So hopefully I get to it. I don't know. Now, another book that this one will be a reread, and that will be The Will of the Many. Now, the book 2, The Strand of the Few, comes out this year, actually, in a couple months. And so I want to reread The Will of the Many, just because I feel like it will be so much easier for me to start the Strand of the Few. If you don't know about this book, this is like a kind of a mythical world where the magic system is based off of will, like your will. So it's like a pyramid scheme where you kind of seed your will to the next person in the diagram that's above you, and the next person and the next person. And then we have one person at the top who is receiving the will of all of these people. And guess what? They're obviously super powerful. So we follow a guy who his family has been destroyed, but it seems like he's from a royal family or a super big family. And we're not really so sure about his backgrounds, but he is sent he's sponsored to go to this magical school to go uncover, a conspiracy in the school. But obviously, he also has his own agenda. So it's super interesting. It's more like a Roman house kind of vibe. So I want to read the second book before The Shrine of the Few comes out later in the year. And the hierarchy is really, really, really on my mind. I really want to get to it. Switching gears a bit, I am going to go to two books that are okay. So these are not old books. I got Assassin's Apprentice when I went to London. I got it in Waterstones. But to be quite honest, Robin Hobb and the Realm of the Elderling is something I've been wanting to get into for a very long time. Now, I have read like the Life Traders ship, so I am familiar with it, but I have been dying to get into this world. So now that I do have the first set of the Farseer Trilogy, which is the first set of books, mind you, she has about 18 to maybe 25 books in this whole realm, might be even more, right? So there's a lot of books to cover and I want to get started. And so this is one that has seriously been on my mind. I'm like super like excited to get into it. I hope I can get into it before the end of the year. Children of Rune, on the other hand, now I started Children of Time and I absolutely loved it. This is an actual new book to my TBR. Like I literally just started Adrian Tchaikovsky this year when I read Children of Time. So it's not something that has been on my radar, but I did really, really enjoy the first book and I'm super like, you know what? I think I'm going to continue on in the series. And this is a book that I think I want to maybe hopefully finish before the end of the year. So now the next couple of books are actually, there's one more. Okay, so this is another book that I have had on my TBR for a very, very long time. In every mirror, she's black by Lola Akinmade. And there's actually a second book after this one. So I'm like, I need to read this because I've had this for a while and it sounds like it's something that I would like. It's about a marketing executive who is lured from the US to Sweden by a CEO to help run a PR fiasco, to help fix a PR fiasco involving a racially tone deaf campaign. So I'm like, that sounds interesting. And it's like three women, right? So it literally says an arresting debut about three very different Black women linked to the same influential white man as they build new lives in Stockholm, Sweden. So it sounds like something I'm like, oh, okay, that's different. I want to read it. So this has been on my TBR. I hope I get to it. I definitely will put it. I need to get to it. That's all I'm gonna say because the premise is like I'm reading. I'm like that sounds so refreshing. Like I really want to know like who is this influential white man and why he messing up with three Black women. But yeah, so that one is on my TBR. So now the other two books will be new releases that came out this year that I just haven't had the time to read it. And the first one will be The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Now, Rachel Gillig has she's not a first-time author. She released the One Dark Window series, which is a trilogy that I never read. But there was so much hype about this book when it came out. A lot of people liked it, and I mean, even at the back, we see like you can see like she has a lot of reviews from like well-known authors. So I'm like, and the premise sounded really interesting. So it says, I'm just going to read a little. It just says, from New York Times bestseller author Rachel Gillig comes a gothic mist-cloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with a knight whose future she cannot see. So it sounds very interesting. And apparently Sybil, who is our main character, she covers her eyes. So she doesn't, like she cannot see or something like I'm not really sure. But the premise sounds really fascinating. And they do have talking gargoyles in it. So I'm like, okay. Book Talk hasn't led me astray so far. Let's just so This is a book talk darling. People love it. I think I might like it. It is fantasy, but the kind of soft magic kind of fantasy, which I'm open to that. So let's see if I will be able to get to it before the end of the year. Now, the last book will also be a new release that came out this year, which is A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ayinde. Now, this is obviously from a Nigerian author. I had this on my like Amazon reading list, or I created a list from 2004. So technically, and it wasn't released by then, but I really like the synopsis of the book. So let me just do it. It says, in the in the kingdom of the Nine Lands, only warriors of noble blood can summon their ancestors to fight with them in battle. But when Tammy, a commoner from the slums, accidentally invokes a powerful spirit, it sets in motion the wheels of a rebellion that will change everything. So I think like it sounds really interesting. And we have, again, a lot of people at the back are reviewing it. We have reviews from Anthony Ryan, who wrote Bloodsong. We have James Islington, the author of The Will of the Many. We have Evan Winters, who is The Rage of Dragons, who I absolutely love so much. So we have a couple of people that have read it and everyone is like, this is amazing. It is, and I think that's one of the other reasons why I haven't read it. It is a big book. It's like almost 600 pages. So I don't know. I do want to get to it. This one though, I'm not so sure if I can get to it. Let's see. I don't know. But yeah, I will try to get to it. But yeah, this is definitely on my TBR. I definitely want to get to it. But yeah, those would be some books that I'm hoping to pick up before the end of the year. Now, I might have other books that will sneak in and come in. I do have one in mind, which would, might kick some of my books out. But it's good to be ambitious and dream big. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know some books that are on your TBR, or if you have read any of the books that I talked about. Let me know if you like them and if you would recommend them, right? But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.